everybody. Here we are on a Valentine's night. Carson Meredith with you. Hope you're having a good Saturday night. Hope you have a good Valentine's Day with whoever you choose to love today, be it a companion, friends, family, pets. Hope it's been a day full of love. Hopefully, you've been able to stay dry over the last few hours as this rain has moved in. And that's what we will be discussing first tonight, is this rain that is now moving in and how long it's here to stay, how much rain are we looking at, things of that nature. We'll talk about the spring feel in the air next week. And then, of course, excuse me, forgive me, I've got something going on. So if my voice sounds raspy, I apologize. But the grand finale tonight will also look ahead to the extended outlook. Got some adjustments to share with you tonight. So let's jump right in, shall we? We'll go to radar here. And you notice, by and large, things are on schedule, I suppose. We were expecting mainly just showers throughout the evening. That's why we said don't cancel your plans tonight. Just make sure you have an umbrella. And even then, a lot of you don't need an umbrella just yet because we still have mainly just lighter showers at this point. Notice the steadiest rain, excuse me, is in our far northern counties at the moment. Lawrence County, Indiana, Bedford, maybe even some slightly heavier rain just north of Bedford there at the top of the map. Seymour, all of my friends up in North Vernon, seeing some of that lighter rain that stretches into parts of Scott County, Austin, Indiana, Madison, Indiana, and then goes into Trimble and Carroll County as well. So that's kind of where the steadiest rain is at the moment. You've got more sprinkles further to the south, down across Nelson County, parts of Washington County, Kentucky, Marion County as well. And as Brian and I kind of talked about yesterday, there's almost two pieces to this system that we're going to be tracking overnight tonight and into the first half of the day on Sunday. And it all comes down to an upper low to the north and a surface low, if you will, further to the south. So here's the surface low. It's moving across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It's somewhere in that ballpark along Interstate 35. And you see just ahead of that low in that cold front, we've had severe weather throughout the day in East Texas. In fact, yeah, that's severe thunderstorm warnings you see in progress down there near Houston at the moment. So that's associated with the surface low that's way out in near Dallas, maybe in Oklahoma, depending on that exact spot. The rain we're seeing here tonight is actually thanks to an upper level low that you can kind of see the curl with it, centered across southern Missouri. And that's kind of giving us our first little push of rain that we're tracking tonight, especially in southern Indiana. Now, that's what we'll be dealing with through the rest of this evening. And what we'll have to watch overnight tonight is when does this southern branch, if you will, catch up with the northern branch? It's going to. The question is exactly when. Once those two pieces kind of catch up and I don't want to say merge, but when they get closer together, what's going to happen is the radar is going to fill in across wave country and we will all be in on a soaking, steady, mainly light rain. But the longer it takes for that coming together to happen, the lower those rainfall totals are going to be for those of you that are not seeing showers right now. So down across our Kentucky county, south of Louisville, it may be several hours. It may not be until after midnight tonight before you start to see more steady rain. And if that's the case, your rainfall totals south of Louisville are going to be lower. Whereas those of you along and north of 64 tonight are already seeing that lighter rain. So there may be a scenario where we have very uneven rainfall totals out of this. So I hope that all made sense. I probably just overcomplicated something that's pretty straightforward, but hopefully that all made sense. Live look out at the outlet shop. Some folks still walking around, it looks like. Spent their Valentine's Day shopping. 49 is where we're at here in Louisville. Had some light showers move through earlier. We're kind of in a break right now. Maybe just some drizzle. That's it. And with this cloud cover moving in, temperatures really aren't going to drop much the rest of the night. I got a forecast low of 43. And again, those rain chances, that rain coverage will continue to increase as the night goes on. So it's about a, 30, 40% chance right now. It'll be up to 100%. I think once we get past 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And once that widespread soaking rain moves in, it's going to stick around to the first part of the day on Sunday. That thinking has not really changed. So if you got any plans early in the morning, if you're going to go to church, if you're going to run errands in the morning, brunch, whatever plans you might have, just make sure you take it slow. Give yourself some extra time. The roads will obviously be wet. And if the rain's falling steadily enough, you might see some reduced visibilities because of spray or low clouds or things like that. So it's going to be a messy Sunday morning, a really good morning, a really good night, and good morning to just kind of lay low, stay warm and cozy. But if you got to be out, just make sure you're taking it slow. Here's the breakdown of the rain chances. This goes from midnight tonight through tomorrow evening. And you kind of notice what I've been talking about, waiting on that radar to fill in over the next 6 hours until about 2 or 3 a.m. We get past 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I would expect the radar to really start to fill in as that southern branch starts to get closer to that northern branch that we're dealing with now. And that's when the soaking rain will begin. Highest rain chances look to be from about 4 to 10 a.m. Area wide. After 10 a.m., we slowly but surely start to see dry air filter in from the north and west. The further south you are, the longer it's going to take for this rain to move out tomorrow. The further north you are, the faster it'll be with that rain moving out. Futurecast doing a pretty solid job. This is the graph model, our in-house model. We showed you guys this yesterday on Snow Talk. It's overestimating ever so slightly the rain coverage we have now, but you get the general idea. Along and north of 64 this evening is where we're going to be tracking the lighter showers this evening. While further to the south, it's very spotty, if not dry, maybe drizzle. That's it. So that's 9 o'clock tonight here in the next hour. Here we go at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That southern piece pushes in that moisture, that extra moisture that we need for the soaker to begin. So 3 a.m., there's a pretty good chance we're all in steady soaking rain. And I still do not have flooding concerns, by the way. Having said that, notice around 8 o'clock in the morning, I talked about how you guys further south may see lower rainfall totals since you might have to wait on that rain to move in. The caveat to that is if we see these pockets of heavier rain develop tomorrow morning in our southern counties. So you see those yellow dots down near Litchfield, Mumfordville, Greensburg, Campbellsville, Columbia, our southern counties. You guys may have some slightly heavier rain tomorrow morning that, for lack of a better term, could balance out the delay you had in that rain moving in to begin with. So if we do have any minor flooding issues develop, it would be for those of you further to the south where we may have some slightly heavier rainfall rates in the morning. Otherwise, this will be a nice cleansing rain. It'll get rid of the salt on our cars and our roads. It'll do a number on any of those snow mounds that are still out there in the parking lots or in your driveways maybe. So it'll clean things up a good bit, it appears. But we'll watch for any minor issues that might develop south in the morning. Otherwise, steady rain as you're heading out early in the morning. So there's 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., somewhere in there. Notice that drier air starting to kick in to the north and west. So if you're up near Bedford and Jasper, Paoli too, I think you're done with the rain by 11 a.m. or so in the morning. Further south, obviously, we've still got the risk for some heavier downpours while that steady rain continues along the Ohio River. Here's 2 p.m. And you notice that rain is pretty much out of the metro by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So early in the day, the wetter it will be. Here in Louisville, I do think we're done with the rain by early afternoon. And by that, I mean about 2 o'clock or so. Further east and south, still holding on to that rain. But it starts to move out pretty quickly. I think in our far southern counties, we're done with the rain by 5 p.m. tomorrow night. And then we start to see the clouds clear out just a little bit, which will kind of segue into our next item, which will be fog Monday morning. Pretty good signal for that. Here's a rainfall map from our graph model, our in-house model. I wouldn't take these numbers as gospel. What I want you to look at is the colors on this map. The darker the greens, the higher the rainfall totals. And you kind of see what I mean when I'm talking about two distinct areas that could see higher amounts than others. One of which would be to the north. You guys up in southern Indiana, Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon, Madison, Salem, Paoli, Scottsburg. Because you're seeing rain now and you're going to see rain pretty much nonstop through midday tomorrow, you could see those amounts get closer to an inch. Again, I think the actual numbers you're seeing here are a little too high, but the general concept is there, around an inch of rain for you guys. Further south of the parkways, same story, around an inch. And that will depend highly on if you see heavier rainfall rates tomorrow morning that kind of counteract the fact that you're not seeing much rain now. So I think we'll have a higher band of 1 inch totals north, higher band of 1 inch totals south, and right in the middle, including here in the metro, probably around 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. So slightly lower. Still a good soaker, no matter where you are. It's just there will be very uneven final measurements when all is said and done. Fair enough? Hope that all made sense. Here comes the 10-day. And I'm just going to kind of jump right into the 10-day because there's plenty to discuss. So let's go to Monday. Let's go to President's Day Monday. I mentioned clouds will slowly start to clear out heading into tomorrow night. Well, when you've got a wet ground and partially clear skies, that could give you a fog issue. And sure enough, as we get towards Monday morning, you see all of those visibilities down to 1/4 mile. So I'm fairly confident we will have a foggy Monday morning commute. Now, Monday's a federal holiday. It's President's Day. So a lot of you might be off. I know a lot of school districts are out, which is good. So there won't be quite as many people on the roads Monday morning. But if you do have to head to work Monday morning, just know it's probably going to be very foggy. I would not be surprised if we get dense fog advisories and things of that nature for Monday morning. So that's the main issue on Monday. Otherwise, it's an okay day. Fog clears out, mix of sun and clouds, highs in the 50s by and large. Louisville, I got us with a high of 60 on Monday. I might have to dial that back a little bit, but even so, still above average. Tuesday's quiet, 64, cloudy, but warmer. That'll be the big story on Tuesday. Wednesday, we did have that forecast of 72 initially, but we've dialed that back just a little bit because it is trending slightly cooler. And part of the reason why is by the time we get to Wednesday, we start to get into this parade of more unsettled weather, these little disturbances moving through from time to time to time. Wednesday's system largely stays to the north, but it may kind of clip us just a little bit. So that's why you see that 20% chance for showers, maybe some thunder on Wednesday. That's not a huge deal, though, at this point. Thursday is when things could get interesting. What appears to be a possibility, this is the GFS model. There's a possibility that that Wednesday system could leave behind a boundary nearby, something like that. And along that boundary, you're going to see high temperatures pushed in your 70. I've got that high of 70 on Thursday. And you could see those dew points get into the 50s. And that would set the stage for a scattered storm chance starting Thursday afternoon along that stalled boundary. At the same time, there will be another front, a cold front, that will be moving in from the west late Thursday night, early Friday. That front as well could give us a few thunderstorms Thursday night into Friday morning. The severe parameters right now are not terribly impressive, but it needs to be monitored for at least some isolated strong storm potential. Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, Friday morning. So we'll watch that. Then things get really muddy. The question is going to be with that Friday morning cold front, how strong it is. If it's kind of a stronger system, then we'll get a big blast of colder air rush in heading into next weekend, but it will be largely dry. However, if it's a weaker setup, as the GFS suggests, where it just kind of glances by, drifts north and east, that would open the door for another low to develop south and west of us and give us another push of rain next Friday night. The GFS has been on board with this, and the European was, but it is not as of now. So we may have a situation where we may have a few showers and storms Friday morning, then a little break during the day, and then perhaps another round of rain Friday night. And if this is the case, then the question becomes, okay, is it going to be cold enough for maybe the northern flank of this to get some flakes mixing in? That was a very popular idea yesterday. It's not so much today. Right now, it looks to be, if we get anything, mostly, if not totally, rain as we head into Friday night and early Saturday. But again, there's a scenario where that Friday morning system is strong enough to where we don't see anything. We don't see rain. We don't see snow. We just see dry and cooler. So a lot of different pieces that we still have to figure out towards the end of next week. But I will say next weekend is trending drier, which is good. As you see there at the very tail end of the map. So lots of things to sort out towards next weekend, the end of next weekend to the weekend. Obviously, too long didn't read version. We've got rain now through early afternoon tomorrow. We've got a chance for a few showers Wednesday. We've got a slightly better chance for showers and a few storms Thursday into early Friday. And then there could be another grand finale round of rain, mainly, as we head into Friday night. And once we get past that Friday night setup, we start to cool things back down just a bit. Go back down into the 40s, heading into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. All right. Hopefully that all made sense. It's a lot. What questions, comments, concerns, complaints do we have? Fire away. I'm all ears. Hello, ZK. Clayton, hello. Angela. Anita. 34 days till spring. Yes, indeed. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Hi, Alicia down in Mount Washington. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Michael, same story. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you all had a good day. Hi, Sean. Yes, this drizzle is very annoying that we have tonight. It's not a big deal. It's annoying, especially if you're out and about tonight, right? Let's see. Hi, DJ King. Hope you're good. Judy, hello. Got light rain where Judy's at. Thanks for that report. Angela, there was a tornado touchdown in Longview, Texas earlier today. Yeah, I saw those warnings earlier, so that would add up. I didn't get the chance to look at those systems in detail, but sounds about right. Happy Valentine's Day, Adam, up there in Bloomington. Hi, Gene. Hope all's good up in Scottsburg. Braden, hello. Nothing in Meade County yet. Thanks, Lori. Appreciate that. It might take you a little while longer for you guys in Meade County to see more rain. It might be after midnight before you see much of anything worth talking about. Brenda, thank you for the kind words. Adam, good question. Already at a little over 1/10 of an inch up in Bloomington. How is this rain going to affect our drought? You know, that's something we haven't really talked about a lot. Let me, I don't know if I have the drought map in my system. Hang on. Oh, I do. Good. I thought I deleted it. Here we go. We haven't really talked about this a lot because, quite honestly, we don't usually worry about drought this time of year. But indeed, the northern half of our area is abnormally dry, including Louisville. So is this going to be enough to get us not abnormally dry? I'm not sure. It'll be a good soaking. but we may need more rain over the next couple of weeks to kind of kick this drought to the curb for a little bit. But it is a little worrisome that we're already talking about being too dry heading into spring, because if we don't get a lot of rain in the spring, then summer could get, it could get even worse with that drought as we head into the summer. And it's not just us. I mean, you look at the whole country is running dry. Florida's in a serious drought, an extreme drought across much of the entire state. Northern Arkansas, it looks like it's in an extreme drought, although they're getting a good soaking right now. Those parts of Texas that are dealing with severe weather, they're getting a good soaking, but a lot of the country is running a little dry. Now, a word of caution with this is the drought monitor doesn't do the best job with snow and snow melt. So you kind of have to think about that when you're reading that map, but even so, we're still a little too dry. And that'll have to be watched for sure in the weeks and months to come. Good question, Adam. Let's see. Braden, what month does our severe weather and tornado chances start to go up? And do you think this season could be active? So, caveat, we can always have severe weather any time of year. That's what we always like to say. March, April, and May are our busiest months. March, April, and May are the busiest. You sometimes have a second severe season this time of year. November, but especially into December, January, February. You get a warmer setup in a cold time of year, high shear, low cape, tons of wind energy, not a lot of fuel. Crazy things happen. That's what happened with that EF1 tornado in Harrison County Christmas weekend this past year, when all of y'all yelled at me for cutting into football. Not all of y'all, but a lot of you did. That's okay. But in general, March, April, and May is when things get busy. Will this season be active? It'll be active. Is it going to be insanely active like it was last year? I hope and pray not. But we're getting closer to that time of year. We're going to be in this tug of war. Brian and I talked about it yesterday. Anybody who says that we are getting locked back into winter for weeks on end is wrong. Anybody who says winter is completely over is wrong. It's going to be a big time back and forth battle for at least another month, maybe month and a half. March, the signals for March are pretty impressive when it comes to cold and snow. So we're not done with winter just yet, but severe weather and storms will become more of a factor in the days to come too. Let's see. Noodlehead, hello. Sean's ready for storm season. Yeah, if I had to track one or the other, I would rather track severe weather than winter weather. That's just me. In a perfect world, we don't have to track both. We can just have sunny and 75 every day. Then we'd all be living in San Diego. Anyway. Or, as Jay says, it could be sunny and 90. One entity always knows, or only knows. That is very true, indeed. Let's see. Mike, any word on a possible major ice storm at the end of this month? No, I don't see that right now. I don't see that at this point, thankfully. Hi, Ashley, up in Crothersville. Happy Valentine's Day to you and yours as well. Sean, good point about the drought down south. That could very well be the case. There was not a landfalling hurricane last year in the south. Maybe that contributed to part of it. Certainly possible. Thanks, Weather Geek. That was all Be Good's idea. Snow Talk has been around for a long time. The last thing I want to do is step on Snow Talk's toes. So I was always going to let Brian have his stage because he's a heck of a lot better explaining this stuff than I am. But he asked if I wanted to join. I was like, sure. So maybe we can do that a little more often in the coming months. Let's see. Yeah, as far as the CSU maps are concerned, right, you're right, Adam. There is a slight risk. The AI tools, this is not official, but the AI tools are hinting at least that strong storm potential in that mainly Thursday and Friday window for us. That Thursday afternoon and evening window, especially. That's where we kind of need to watch with the stalled front over us, and then the cold front trying to move in late Thursday night. If we do get any severe weather late next week, I think it would be in that late Thursday window, late Thursday, early Friday. Is that wind Wednesday? Yes, it is. Let's mention that before we go. Thank you for reminding me. So here's Wednesday. The wind gust will be in southwest flow. So we're going to be rocking and rolling. We'll have those wind gusts solidly over 30 miles an hour most of the day Wednesday. Maybe getting closer to 35. Yeah, it'll be a blustery day for sure. And there could be a few showers. I'm not overly worried about it, but there's at least a small rain chance on Wednesday. But the main story will be the warm, windy feel that we have. So gust around 30, maybe 35 miles an hour on the table by midweek, no doubt. Very true, Adam. Nobody should or would or could refuse a Snow Talk invite. That is absolutely correct. Snow Talk's always welcoming. All we need now is Hearted and Hoke to complete the series. Maybe. The thing is, a lot of times Brian's shift, and when he can do Snow Talk, is at the complete opposite time of when Ryan and Kevin are here during the week. So it would have to be a big time deal if we ever get Hearted and Hoke working with Brian on Snow Talk. That would be something's really going down if that ever happens. But you never know. We'll see. All right, guys, that's all I got tonight. So busy days ahead. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's just getting into that tug of war time of year, as I always like to say. And that tug of war might be a stronger battle than it has been in years past. So right now it's about the rain and the warmth. We'll continue to see the rain chances climb through the night, dry out tomorrow afternoon, and then we can really hone in on how the end of the week is going to shape up. Okay? Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm off tomorrow night, pre-planned. So the boss will be here tomorrow night. I'm not sure if he'll do a live stream, but if you don't see a live stream from me tomorrow night, that's why. Just taking a day off, and I will catch you guys tonight on Wave News at 11, of course, after the Olympics. And if you don't see me then, you will see me Thursday and Friday. I'm on the morning show. So if for some reason you like watching me all the time, you got a lot of opportunities coming up this week. But I will see you guys again tonight on Wave News at 11 after the Olympics, and then I'll catch you guys again towards the end of next week. Appreciate you watching as always, guys. Take care.